Yes. You see those ones that sell the local ones, some like the local bread, some like those from the superstores.
The local ones you and I grew up to know,
yes.
we grew up with,
yes.
we are so familiar with them.
Yes.
And those ones were actually pure. They were bromate free, if I can remember.
Yes. So why introduce bromate in the first place? I don't understand.
Well, I think I can hazard a guess. What has become of bread is what has become of virtually everything that is produced in the country, produced locally, especially the edibles. Now, I said it before on this platform, Bimbo, those businesses that are producing locally, the ones that have decided to stay in Nigeria, especially the big ones, they stayed because they lowered standards. I mean, due to the harsh economic policies, due to the harsh policies that of production that the government keeps coming up with, especially talking about the finance sector now, CBN coming up with policy after policy to make local industrialization, local production more and more difficult, whereas they keep telling Nigerians to patronize locally made goods. They keep saying they want to encourage local industries, whereas they are doing the exact opposite. Now, some of these organizations that are international conglomerates, many of them have left because one reason they left, not just because their businesses are suffering, but because they said they cannot compromise standards. So many of them left, went to establish base in neighboring countries. But there are some of them, there are some that have remained in the country. There's a particular brand of soft drink, and I've said it for the opportune time, showing this particular, Bimbo, there is this particular brand of soft drink. It is the first that you probably find at any event, at any party you attend. It has been, I mean, since goodness to us, since the formation of Nigeria, that brand of soft drink has been existing. But over time, I know you know the brand I'm talking about, but over time, the quality of that particular brand of soft drink has been lowered. And they did that because they want to stay in production. They do not want to leave Nigeria. Ditto for many other brands as well. So I guess that is what is also happening to bread. Wheat, for instance, flour and all the ingredients so unaffordable. The cost continues
very
to soar.
expensive, very expensive.
So of course they resort to bromate to make ends meet and to stay in production. And then the government keeps applauding itself. Oh, we're encouraging local production. Local industries are thriving, and that is what they keep saying. Whereas they are ruining things with their own hands. So like I said, Bimbo, I guess that is what is also happening to bread. What has happened to local production across the various sectors.
Now, what worries me is that now researchers, even NAFDAC, are warning that bromate is not good for the production of bread, and it is what children like most. Yes.
Well, just like this particular drink I'm talking about, it's been the culprit in a lot of cases of diabetes, kidney failure, but no one seems to be noticing. And like I said, it is the for now it is the #1 brand in Nigeria, and it's so popular that they even use its name to refer to any soft drink. They'll say, give us, do you have this? Even if you want to purchase from the retailer, they'll say, do you have this particular brand? Whereas they'll now say, which particular type do you want?
Yes. Now, some bakers are giving reasons why they use bromate. They use the cheap potassium bromate as flour improver for bread making.
Because flour is beyond reach.
And it has gained wide acceptability all over the world because of its low oxidizing action, which strengthens bread dough and helps to, create a good texture. in the finished product.
That's why sometimes you buy some of this loaf of bread, and then you find out that 3 days after it's still
it's still on ground.
It's still it hasn't gone bad. Even 3 days, 4 days after. I thought that 5 days sometimes you find out that you begin to ask yourself, why hasn't it gone bad? Then of course, so it was
used.
Someone that now gave me the answer sometimes ago that it's because of the chemicals that are harmful to human health, bromate especially. They said bromate is a major culprit that they use in the production. And okay,
to some other stories.
Well, Bimbo, still on economic matters. It's not getting better, Bimbo. Food prices rise as Nigeria's inflation hits 34.6% in November 2024. And what nauseates me, like for the opting, like I always say on this platform, these experts, the economists, the CBN, telling you that things are getting better. Telling us that we are achieving that, and that, well, they say these things are necessary because of a better tomorrow. Well, I said that better tomorrow is not coming. Things are only getting better on paper. Things are only getting better, maybe according to the graphs that the researchers themselves, the Nigerian economic researchers that they draw for themselves, and the graph that the CBN also draws for itself. And, well, they live in luxury anyway, because I thought I read the write-up on them. The luxury is enjoyed by the leadership of the CBN, and also, of course, if you are enjoying that much, of course, you continue saying that your economic policies are working. Even when the IMF itself that put us up to all this is telling us that the reforms are not working. And so, well, here we are now. Food prices on the rise. Nigeria's inflation is 34.6% in November 2024.
I don't know why some policies. Most policies are not working in Nigeria, did not work in the past. Remember the structural adjustment program of the former military president?
SAP.
SAP.
And the second tier foreign exchange market, SFEM.
Yes. They no work. I don't know what is happening. That means we don't have, a good structure, to implement all these, all these programs, all these policies that they are bringing out.
Not that they don't have a good structure, they never had good intentions, and they never intended those programs to work. Those that recommended it to us, and then they found willing collaborators in our government.
And the IMF also had a hand in those SAP and SFEM and the other ones too. They had a hand in it.
It's always been them.
Now, budget presentation, yes, to National Assembly was postponed to tomorrow. We'll tell you why. After this time now.
Wait, that be more Guinness be that. Nah, sure. This people different, e go fine with the new red counters. We sit down cool on top. Bam!
Your head dead there. Malta Guinness don't wear ogbonge new look now.
Na so, your jolly Malta Guinness don't wear new look now. And the taste still bam well. No tell yourself, Malta Guinness don't wear new look. And na the same better goodness dey inside. Malta Guinness, share goodness every day.
All right, we are back, and it's good to know you are still there, and the program is still Conversation. You are talking about budget presentation and why it was postponed.
Yes, the Federal Government Executive Council yesterday approved the 2025 budget proposal of 47.96 trillion. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the cabinet meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the council chamber. And he said the 2025 framework was based on an oil price index. Yes, but it was said it was the presentation was postponed. Yes, I don't know what happened, and they said it has been, It was presented yesterday, and the headline says it was postponed to tomorrow. And yes, I think this is a mix-up somewhere.
There must be.
Yes, but the budget presentation says the proposal was 47.96 trillion naira.
At 2025 budget, also talking about the budget here, it says 13 trillion naira deficit to be financed through borrowing.
That means it was presented.
Says Finance Minister.
Yes, it was a mix-up here.
Oh, actually, it's also here. It says budget presentation to National Assembly to hold tomorrow. And they say the FEC approves 2025 budget proposal. Well, I think what happened yesterday, maybe there was a meeting of the Federal Executive Council, and where the proposal was approved.
Okay.
So for onward presentation to the National Assembly by Mr. President.
Okay.
So what they've done here is to give us some snippets. 13 trillion naira deficit to be financed through borrowing, and that's coming from the Minister of Finance. So our deficits are going to be borrowing more. That's what the minister is telling us, and that that deficit of 13 trillion naira is going to be actually financed through borrowing.
Now, you remember former head of state Yakubu Gowon. His university has been, renamed after him. General Yakubu Gowon of the Nigeria Praise. Yes, he was former head of state, and the federal government, yesterday announced the approval of the renaming of University of Abuja after the elder statesman and former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon. The university will now be known as Yakubu Gowon University, Abuja, in recognition of his contribution to the stability of the country. Yes, he really contributed. He contributed, yes.
It's also here, Tinubu names Union Abuja after Yakubu Gowon. Okay, declare. Okay, there's something else here, Bimbo. Declares free train ride nationwide for Yuletide.
The federal government. That is fantastic.
Oh, a lot of stuff have gone into that, Bimbo. If they are going to, if we are going to start enjoying free trainers from now, although I don't know how long that will last, but then if it's a Yuletide period and they are starting now,
yes.
They are sinking a lot into that. I must say,
people will throng all those stations.
And of really at this nationwide, anywhere the train services are available.
Yes.
EFCC arrests 193 foreigners, 599 other crypto fraud suspects in Lagos. I know the arrest of these foreigners. One thing I'm happy about, and the chairman of the EFCC, Oluyole, also said it. He said the foreigners, they actually perpetrate these crimes and create the impression that it is Nigerians doing it.
Yes.
And even when they fleece people from outside the country, those will have the impression that they are being defrauded of their hard-earned money by Nigerians. So now, we now know that quite a lot of foreigners are actually involved.
Yes, they are being nabbed now, and yes, they are from the the Asia Pacific areas of the world: the Pakistanis, Kazakhstanis, Indonesians. You understand?
But yes, good work, and I want to commend the FCC for this. But then again, I want to reiterate what many Nigerians have been saying, that they should also begin to go after the bigger fish. I mean, those ones in high places that have skeletons in their cupboard, very glaring skeletons, I would say, and the terrorist sponsors. Many of whom are known to the EFCC, many of whom are their collaborators in the finance sector.
Yes.
Many of whom are known to the EFCC, and but maybe due to one reason or the other, they have held back from moving against them. They should be going after these kind of people too, and we should see that due diligence is done and justice is done in the case of such persons who have been a thorn in the flesh of Nigerians.
Yes, kama mu okueko, kama mu kote, kama mu ejaro. That is what
bigger fish.
Bigger fish. That is what entails now.
Those ones that have been able to purchase presidential nomination forms for 100 million naira.
Yes.
And you cannot actually explain how they came about that money.
That money, yes.
That much money. And like I always say, people, they were buying that. At that time, they were buying the forms. Like they were buying puff by the roadside. And you now wonder, is it all of them that can really defend the source where they got that money from?
Now I have this one here. President Tinubu approves new service terms for military personnel. Let's go into that. President Bola Tinubu yesterday presided over the National Defense Council meeting, where he approved the new harmonized terms and conditions of service, HTACOS, for officers and enlisted personnel in the Nigerian Armed Forces. The approval, which was disclosed by Dada Olusegun, Special Assistant to the President on social media, signified a major step towards improving the welfare of soldiers, ratings, and airmen across the nation. Well, I think...
I also think that's in order. That's very key, especially these precarious times. The welfare, the well-being of those men and women who continue to lay down their lives to ensure
yes,
that you and I can sleep with both eyes closed.
Yeah, and protecting the territorial integrity of the nation. And the development reflects his administration's broader strategy of prioritizing welfare reforms and strengthening details of the harmonized, strengthening structures, in the military. And I think that is also on course.
And again, part of ensuring the welfare of these servicemen and women is to make sure that those that try to make their job difficult are also that the security agencies also go after those ones. I'm talking about those people that try to sabotage, for instance, the war against terror. Those people that try to sabotage the war against banditry, the saboteurs, the political saboteurs, and even the saboteurs within the service itself. So when you give them these men and women, when you give them incentives, also find ways to make sure they are able to do their job without any frustrations, and without any hindrances. By removing, like I said, those who would make their job more difficult.
And by adopting the harmonized framework, the Tinubu administration, I think, aims to bolster morale, like you said, enhance the operational readiness of the Nigerian Defense Forces, among others. I think this is on course, like I said.
Okay, Tinubu appoints 8 new permanent secretaries. Okay, that's also happened yesterday. President Bola Tinubu has appointed 8 permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service to fill existing and impending vacancies in some states and geopolitical zones. And on insurgency, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, advocates meaningful dialogue. Here we go again. In place of military options. I hate hearing this kind of narrative coming from these politicians.
That's what
is advocating dialogue. I want a dialogue with who? Advocates meaningful dialogue in place of military. Dialogue with who? Dialogue that you have seen clearly, you have also clear that this thing is not working. I do not understand.
And I don't know why Nigeria and Nigerians are not putting their feet down. The United States doesn't negotiate with dialogues with terrorists or who, or whatever they call themselves, or bandits. They're not saying negotiation again since all this time. Ugago.
It's telling us to. It's drawing analogies and examples from countries where their crisis doesn't have any semblance or bearing with what is happening in Nigeria. He's talking about Rwanda.
Right.
What happened in Rwanda was a genocide.
Genocide.
And they were very fortunate because those that were the victims, the Tutsis,
yes.
Their leader at that time was in the bush all the while fighting the Hutu government that was killing these people. Well, they won the civil war, and he became president, and he decided that he was not going to do. So it was about that individual, about that very man that decided that he was going to bring everyone together, and he was not going to. And mind you, in the case of Rwanda, the perpetrators of evil were brought to book. They were not invited to dinner with governors and presidents. They were not invited to dinner with the politicians and then given gabs of honor, honored with chieftaincy titles, and giving Hilux vehicles, and giving motorbikes so that they will stop misbehaving. They were made to answer for their crimes.
Yes.
Those cases went as far as the international courts. But here in Nigeria, people, these politicians will keep telling you that we should make these people very comfortable. We keep acting as if these wicked people, these evil men are the victims, and that the actual victims brought these things upon themselves.
And this brings to my mind, do you remember the Niger Delta era, the militants then, when they always kidnap people, they did not make them comfortable. They made them comfortable. All those that perpetrated all these crimes, the warlords then in the creeks, then they are comfortable now. In
the case of the militants, Bimbo, they had reason to do what they did.
Yes, they had reasons.
Because you know what was happening in that region at that time. The all multinationals devastating their land, devastating their means of livelihood,
and they were not settling them.
Intense sufferings at that time. So they took to armed struggle. So the government decided at some point to listen. Okay, and then there was this amnesty program, which is very much in order. But then these are outright cutthroats and criminals. What does Lakurawa want? What is Lakurawa fight? What does Boko Haram want? You cannot say exactly this is what they want. This is what they are fighting for. This is their ideology. Boko Haram, just like I'm saying that you want to invite armed robbers so that they will stop robbing people. It's like making friends with a cobra and then trying to persuade it not to bite.
It was like then when Boko Haram started, they said no to Western education. Why did it lead to, kidnapping and killing people?
No to Western education, yet everything they use products of Western education. And they said they were trying to establish an Islamic caliphate. Yes, they keep on killing Muslims. They also kill Muslims. They go into mosque. So that's why I'm saying that these are just, they're not even Muslims, Bimbo. These are criminals, pure and simple. And they should be treated as such. So from what Speaker Tajudeen Abbas is saying this morning, it means that we are yet to see the end of all this. We, in a very long while from now, we are not going to see the end of, as long as these politicians remain in control of things. Here what he's saying, Bimbo, is calling for adoption of meaningful dialogue and other non-military strategies to combat the unending insecurity challenges facing the country over the years. And I ask again, a dialogue with whom? The same dialogue you've been adopting that has not been working. All this while.
Yes, who will come out and they will be dialoguing with? Yes. There was a time, what is this? Sheikh Gumi. He always goes into the bush, into the forest, to dialogue with them, to talk with them. Then
the same government that is not ready to hold that same level of dialogue with Sunday Igboho, with Nnamdi Kanu, and that same government
is now saying
and then like you said, Sheikh Gumi, someone, the cleric, will go into the. Remember that very irritating and annoying spectacle that played out during the last administration, when Sheikh Gumi went into the forest, and those people, I never thought. For the life of me, that in my lifetime I will see people coming out brazenly to say, I'm a thief, I'm a robber, I'm a bandit, and they now start and in full glare national television in full glare of television cameras, and they were brandishing the weapons they have used to murder thousands of innocent Nigerians. And they sat there with pride, and the clerics sat there among them,
yes,
as if it was perfectly normal.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, if I'm watching that with my little boy or my little girl, how do I begin to explain that the profession that these people are professing and they are so proud of? I'm a bandit. Bandit means armed robber, bimbo, only, olosha, jaguda. That's what it means. These are the same people we are treating as normal human beings.
But
really?
But for that means the federal government knows about that Gumi, going inside the forest.
Of course,
yes.
It was those cameras belong to national television, the federal government TV station.
So it is just too bad. It is too bad.
If the speaker doesn't know what to say, I think he should just keep quiet
and not say anything.
Insulting and stop spitting on the graves of millions of Nigerians that have died at the hands of these people. Is it because he and his family they've not been victims?
Yeah, don't worry. Time will tell. No problem. This one says, the Supreme Court declines to sack Tinubu. Yes, the Supreme Court yesterday dismissed as frivolous and highly vexatious a suit that prayed it to sack President Bola Tinubu from office. The Apex Court, in a unanimous decision by a 5-member panel of justices, awarded a fine of 5 million naira against the plaintiff, Chief Ambrose Owuru, who was the presidential candidate of the Hope Democratic Party (HDP) in the 2019 general elections. Igbailaro.
I don't want to comment about. Indeed. No foreign military base in Nigeria, says Defense Headquarters. And there's something else to that story we just took, Bimbo, regarding the Supreme Court and the frivolous suit asking that President Tinubu be sacked. Supreme Court slams 5 million naira fine on ex-presidential candidates for filing frivolous suits against Tinubu. What's he about also?
He was the one that filed. He was the one that filed the suit. And now
he's going to pay a fine for wasting the time of the court, I guess.
Yes. Child trafficking. Father battles NAPTIP over son's custody. Well, the father of a 22-month-old child, Mr. Godson Chuks, has raised concerns over his son's detention by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in Abuja. Chuks, speaking to reporters, revealed that his son was only a month and 3 weeks old when his wife passed away on February 10, 2023. Since then, he has been caring for the child until his mother-in-law took him. He explained, let me quote him, "I am a native of Enugu State, a businessman and a contractor with the Enugu State Ministry of Environment and Mineral Resources. What happened between me, NAPTIP, and my son is what I want to explain. My wife passed away on February 10, 2023, and since then my son, who was just a month and 3 weeks at that time, had been in my care. After a year, my mother-in-law came to take him so she should provide a better care, allowing me to focus on other responsibilities. We went through a court process, and the Enugu State High Court, presided over by the Chief Judge, granted my mother-in-law custody of the son with me as co-guardian. The court also ruled that I could visit the son whenever I wanted. Now, I think the NAPTIP now came and took custody of the kid.
Something must have led to that. Did the father, did he try to violate the provisions of the court ruling that awarded custody to his mother-in-law? If he did that, and he could be accused.
Let me just see this. On September 1, 2024, some individuals arrived at our house asking for me. They identified themselves as NAPTIP officials and claimed there was a petition against me. They handcuffed me and forced me into their vehicle and and taking the child with us. They took the child with them, and they have in their vehicle. Yes, and no explanation was made to him. And when they arrived at Abuja about 10 p.m., where they locked both himself and the child in a cold cell overnight with only instant noodles provided during the journey.
What was the child doing in his house? So the child was supposed to be in custody
of the mother-in-law. Yes.
So I don't know if that is what happened, but by chance he went to maybe one way or the other, maybe through illegal means. Maybe went to take the child.
Yes.
Because of the mother-in-law. Well, the mother-in-law could report him to NAPTIP, accuse him of him.
But NAPTIP too, is NAPTIP that forceful, using handcuffs?
Well, they work with law enforcement agents, and if someone is accused of child trafficking, well, they could. It's not the officials that will use the handcuffs. They are usually accompanied by security agents that work with them.
Okay.
But Governor Ododo explores Chinese investment opportunities for Kogi's industrial growth. And you also have, FAAC shared 12.918 trillion naira to federal government, states and local governments in 11 months, and are recorded unprecedented gross revenue of 3.143 trillion naira in November 2024. Well, I hope we'll be seeing the results sometime soon. And at Ajimobi posthumous birthday round table, former governor of Oyo State, the late former governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, would have been 75 yesterday if he had still been alive. God rest his soul. It says here, President Tinubu underscores relevance of press freedom, separation of powers in democratic setting. That's at the Ajimobi posthumous birthday round table. Something organized to honor his memory.
Yes. Now, Farutimi is in the news again. Alleged defamation. I didn't send anybody to beg Afe Babalola. That is according to Farutimi. And yes, and associates are calling for his release.
Yeah, well, it means he's still fighting. And he's very much ready to continue the fight.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't seem to. I'm not preempting the court's people, but he doesn't seem to be winning.
Yes, that means he has some facts about what he was saying.
And
what he said in that book.
Arias asked him to come out with the facts.
Yes, well, let him come out with the facts.
And 6-year single term for president governors, politicians disagree with legal luminaries. 6-year single term, that's the subject of debate
yes.
Over time.
Political interference hinders legislative oversight function. Bamidele and Ihonuvbere, that is the Senate leader and majority leader of the House of Representatives, Senator Bamidele Opemi, and Professor Julius Ihonuvbere yesterday identified political interference as part of the challenges hindering the legislative oversight function of the National Assembly. Of course, everybody can see that. It is obvious. Yes, it is obvious.
Our Police Service Commission approves elevation of 29 senior officers. And there's a story from Oyo State, Bimbo. It says Oyo ranks one of 3 largest state employers of labor. That's coming from the Commissioner for Information, Prince Dotun Oyelade. Prince Dotun Oyelade has disclosed that Oyo State ranks 3rd in the league of states paying the highest minimum wage in Nigeria. And he stated that while Lagos and Rivers State with ample natural resources approved 85,000 naira as minimum wage, Oyo State will pay 80,000 naira, and it was recorded that the federal government approved 70,000 naira minimum wage. He added that 4 other states, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Enugu, and Niger states, matched Oyo State in the payment of 80,000 naira minimum wage, but do not have the workforce of Oyo State. Prince Oyelade noted that this showcases the high premium Governor Seyi Makinde places on the welfare of state workers. And they also by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) assertion that Oyo State has the most is the most worker-friendly state in the whole of southern Nigeria, owing to the record volume of new recruitments into the civil service system. Oyo ranks one of 3 largest state employers of labor. Prince Dotun Oyelade, Commissioner for Information, Oyo State.
Yes, I think that is quite commendable. Yes, phone calls now.
Yeah, we open the phone lines. So time to be a part of a conversation. We have our first caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ojo Michael calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
God bless you. Yes, on the issue of bread, my advice and the advice of Nigeria is that those people, the project, whoever you say, government should desist from it. Yes, on the statement credited to Honorable Speaker Abbas, that there should be meaningful dialogue. I picked that word, meaningful dialogue. So how do you preach to the person that lion kill his mother or her mother? So what is the meaning of this thing? It seems that these people, I didn't know one of them. I don't know one of the bandits because it seems they know where they are. So it is unfair. It is not fair. So they should wipe them away. Why should they be pampered? God bless you.
Thank you very much.
So, Joe Michael. 080550985 07055551985.
Yes, the program is still conversation. And this one says EFCC recovers 248 billion naira, $105 million, 755 duplexes. Yes, I think it is in the last month.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning, John calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, sir.
Farutimi said he never sent anybody to beg Ariafe Babalola.
Yes.
I knew he wouldn't have sent anybody. That is why he said Obi was doing Shobonoki. Farutimi wouldn't have sent anybody to beg anybody. The man has his fact. Nobody is sent in this country. Yes, Ari has his right.
Yeah, but why didn't
him to court.
Why didn't he bring out these facts?
Then release him. He will bring out the facts. At least he's entitled to be release him. Don't continue to put him under unnecessary by bringing other irrelevant accusation. Let's face the real fact. Release him on bail. Then let him have his days in court. If he has no fact, then whatever the judgment says, then he should take it. Secondly, whoever say that we should negotiate with the bandit, then he should be investigated. He is also a bandit. Because I don't know if his children or wife has been a victim. I don't know if he will have said so. So I don't understand what is going on in this country. The speaker says such, and the government will just look over it. That is insane and unacceptable. Lastly, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo, people get cash in the bank. It depends on who you are. Yesterday, I intentionally go to one of the branch I don't used to visit because I don't want to be treated as VIP. I went to Taiwo Sale, one of my bank branch. I was there. I was putting on my camera also because if it boomerang, their CCTV could be tampered with. I will have my own. By the time I got there, I deposited my check, and the young man told me, "Sir, you can't have up to this amount." I simply asked him why. He said the authority would not. I said, "Who says so?" Then we started tracking the issue. It caught the attention of the security. They were asking me out. I said, "No, why did you give me checkbook when you know I can't withdraw? Why did you give me checkbook?" Suddenly someone came out from the manager's office. Holding Ghana must go. I now pointed, I said, "This man coming out."
That is it.
Was carrying cash. And he went to the bank manager. The bank manager now rushed out and said, "Oh, Baba, I said, "No. I will check you. I said, "I will." Then some guy said, "I want to come and tell you more." That means if you don't know anybody, you won't get the cash. I was later paid by 250, but I made sure I got it through the counter. Not that the manager will take me inside. Enjoy your day. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for that expository.
Yes, we were talking about I think yesterday or so. That means the banks too have, they have.
Okay.
They have issues. They not issues. They are to be blamed for all these things.
The unanswered questions is that why is this happening? What is the need for it? I mean, what exactly is going on? What exactly is somebody somewhere trying to achieve with all this? Where are they going with this?
Yes, we don't know. We don't understand. People are baffled.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm coming from Ethiopia.
Please go from your radio set or reduce the volume.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, much better now.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Look around me. Still continue in this Nigeria. Anyway, well done. I just make sure I'm recording.
Hello?
Hello.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Okay.
Without any solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, my personal opinion here, the solution to insurgency, banditry, and terrorism in this country is that we should understand that we are at war with these people, and we should treat them as such, as the enemies of the country that they are.
And that the government should take the bull by the horn.
We've already tried that option that the speaker is talking about, and it hasn't worked. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Salah and Bida.
Good morning, Baba.
The peace of the Lord be with us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And may the peace of the Lord be with the peace-loving Nigerians. Diseases and sicknesses are more rampant these days through what we consume. Many of what we consume now, I call or describe as chemicalized bread, chemicalized rice, chemicalized beans and yams and yam flour, and snacks and drinks, fast food, fast diseases, and fast death. In a country like ours, where anybody can produce anything to make money, not minding what effort it causes on the people, we are at our wit's end. I wish the government will look into this seriously and act fast. Tola is provoked today. Only provocation. Because of the statement credited to an high-ranking politician, a ruler, a leader in this country, that we should dialogue with bandits and terrorists. The identified supporters of terrorists, even the terrorists whose list have been released by the Saudi Arabia, has anything been done with them? God, please intervene in the affairs of this country. Demonstrate your power. Let justice prevail. Lord, come and rescue this country from the hands of the wicked. So I pray in Jesus' name. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir.
Nigerians have been performing some remarkable feats, and it says Ademola Lookman, he is Africa's best player of the year.
Yes.
Numa Dozie retains best goalkeeper, and Super Falcons women's team
That's
of the year.
Nadozie. Well, we congratulate them, and we congratulate Nigerians, and we congratulate Nigerian football fans.
The CAF awards.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Alaji.
This is
Alaji Ayulabogo calling from Lalape.
Which one you, sir?
We congratulate every Nigerian on the occasion of Lokman. That's a good thing to happen. Now, I also appreciate the effort of His Excellency President Tinubu in remaining Abuja University as he could go on university. Is appreciated and is applauded. But meanwhile, we used to say military rights are not aberration. I don't know why we turned out. Then, secondly, the issue of Biafran. We still ringing bells on our head. Where millions of Nigerians died during the Biafran war. And this is an issue beyond and maybe we can resolve amicably. We supposed to sit around the table and settle the case amicably. But what happened? Millions of Nigerians died. And we forgot them. We forgot to even hear from them. Now, what is happening now is to me is that the way we are paying our bills, because this thing with their fund and the problem is still escalating to today. These people, it is not possible to remember all of them, but yearly or occasionally we supposed to remember these good people of Nigeria who died because of this country. Thank you. I will go from Lalape.
Thank you
very much.
You know, Bimbo, I guess Mr. John would not want the kind of attention it would draw to him. Otherwise, I would have so much wished that he could make he said he had a camera on him, a covert camera on him when that his encounter with those bankers happened. I wish he could kind of make that go viral so that every Nigerian will be able to see the level of wickedness and the deceit and in the banking sector regarding the matter of cash, availability of cash and cash scarcity.
We lost that.
Okay, we lost that. There's another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Turn down the volume of your.
Okay.
Good to have you.
Àti mọ́.
Ọlọ́run ní Nàìjíríà gbà wá o.
Àmín.
Adé gba àkóso. Ọlọ́run àwọn náà àwọn ìjọba wa o. Nígbà tí èèyàn lọ sí báńkì tó fẹ́ gbowó tó wá jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní kò ní lówó gbà. Ìgbọ́n táwọn kan gbé pọ́ǹkì owó jáde wọ́n sì ní kò sí káàsì. Ẹ̀rí wípé nǹkan bẹ àgùntàn tó máa rẹ sẹ́nu tó tún lẹ́lẹ́. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó wá láìpẹ́ ètò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí o. Kó wá gbà wá lọ́wọ́ àwọn alágbára tó ń fi ọmọ orí ogún orí tí o. Kó wá gbà wá lọ́wọ́ àwọn àfìyàjẹni o. Ìgbà tí Bọ́lá Ahmed kó múra kó lọ. Kó dẹ̀ ronú kó padà sọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Kó di Ọlọ́run láti bá fún ìjọba rẹ̀ ṣe. Kó má tura rẹ̀ pé tí ò jẹ́ o. Kó má jọra rẹ̀ dúdú o. Kó má pé Ọlọ́run ni Mèsáyà o. Èèyàn ṣe Mèsáyà o. Ọlọ́run ni kó gbà láàyè. Ẹ máa bí ìtòkàn.
Thank you very much.
What he has simply said is that we should go back to God, and he also had an admonition for the leader of this country to allow God to guide his every thought and action, and they should not rely on human beings who are capable of misleading him. That's what he said in a nutshell.
Quickly, last call.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, briefly.
I think the report on Oluyole being the player of the one of the license players, I think it's right. I believe the story. The government have been in the last few years have been recruiting, which I think is good. It's right. I think in this regard, I think it's the most I think it's even more than any other government in the Southwest. I think. Then on the issue of there's still before I go, there's this issue of debris at the garage at gate. The motor park at gate, the one they did in front of post office. There's a big debris there. I think the Ministry of Environment or the local government people should go there and maybe arrest some of these drivers and anybody caught doing all this thing. There's a large debris of which can cause cholera in that place. So I think that it should be done enough. They should do something about it. So thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
The officials are, I'm sure, listening to you right now, and I'm sure they will do something.
And that's very close to Ibadan North. It will be easy to catch the perpetrators, if you ask me.
Yes, Tola, before we go, this is the festive season. Now, one wife was speaking to her husband. She said the Christmas turkey is very big. I think she went to price one turkey. I told the vendor, that is what she's saying, I told the vendor to reserve it for us. She said we can even pay by installments. That is talking about that she was telling the husband, and the husband was not too buoyant. Now, the husband said, no qualms. Well, we will also eat it by installments. If we eat the neck, we will pay for the neck and keep the rest. Yes.
We have to go. We had a trusted time of conversation as usual, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akonbi. Victor is here. Victor of the what?
Victor and the girls.
Victor and the girls, yes.
Well, there's no girl with him actually.
Yes, now. Yes, I know you tell us about the success of Lukman and the footballer, African Footballer of the Year, and the Falcons, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka, who retained the CAF award. And results of the EPL and Serie A and fixtures for today's matches, Coppa Italia and international friendlies, and other stories. Yes, Victor is here. Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, a beautiful morning, but I think we have to pay some bills right here before we get into the sport tidbits itself deeply. All right. Okay.
What's going on? Why is your house this full? Ha, Oremi. Today is my second wedding anniversary, and my in-laws are here to celebrate with me.
Auntie, I want jollof fries.
My in-law, I hope you have yam and tomato sauce.
How will you satisfy this your picky in-laws? With the Rika tomato mix, I'm always good to go.
Auntie, can I have more jollof fries? It's so tasty and attractive.
The Rika tomato mix is made from good quality with fiber, iron, and vitamins A, D, E, and K. It makes my meals come alive with that rich red color, great taste, and aroma that's so inviting. The Rika tomato mix, making meals come alive.
Good morning, my people. Now your pilot dey Eluna. Today we get special passengers from inside plane. The Betano members they go England to go watch Aston Villa match live. Big congratulations to Emeka, Yemi, and Ibrahim.